while back I showed you how to shave your 3D prints, not sand them, and it makes for a better finish. But sometimes the card scrapers that they give you don't have the proper shape. So I'm going to show you how to make your own custom shaped card scrapers. And this is a lot easier than you would think. You know those stainless steel or spring steel rulers that you can buy super cheap at the dollar store or on Amazon? You can cut them down and put a custom shape into them, just like I'm showing here. One thing that you'll notice is that I have a jeweler saw and that little wooden thingy, I forget what it's called. There should be some text somewhere on the screen that'll tell you what it is. And there will be affiliate links down below for this kind of stuff, but you don't need all of this. You can probably figure this out with a hacksaw or a Dremel or whatever you need. I have to say one thing is if you don't have a jeweler saw, go get one. Seriously, these things are freaking magical. You need to have one, especially if you're building props and special effects or anything for that matter. 3D prints, they cut beautifully. You cut out the shape that you have, you cut the end off. Now you'll notice that I'm scraping off the cork off the back, but only on the section that is actually doing the scraping. Why, you might ask? Well, here's the thing, is it actually makes for a really nice comfortable grip when you're scraping. Now what I have here is a burnishing tool, and that's how you get the burr edge on these scrapers. With burnishing tools, in the end, it is really just a very hardened piece of steel. Do you know what else is a really hardened piece of steel? A screwdriver shaft. Oh. Now you can use these, but they don't seem to have the same effect. There's something about the burnishing tool, I'm not sure what magic it possesses, but it just works better for me. But you don't need one, you can just use a screwdriver shaft. If you look at the scraper itself, if it's flat like this, you'll notice that there's a little bit of that metal that's kind of out like this. And the way you create that is to run the burnisher around the outside and push over or mushroom that edge. Then what you do is you turn your burnisher at a little bit of an angle and you push that little edge over a little bit more so you have this little hooked piece, and that's what does all the cutting. With this metal, it is not all that hard, so it's super easy to burnish. At the same time, it dulls fairly fast, but we're talking about a super cheap tool here, right? So who cares? Now that you've got this edge, again, this is not perfect. There's going to be the purists out there saying that if you get a card scraper, you have to have a polished edge and then you burnish it and then you got to do all these things. This is the quick and dirty way to get things done, and it works incredibly effectively on 3D prints. So now that I have that little point, I can get into certain fillets on this print that I've done, but you'll notice that there's a concave section, and that matches nearly perfectly this handle that I'm printing out. Sometimes making your own custom tools is the way to go, and it's not nearly as hard as you think. You're welcome.